All right. It's Federal Reserve Day. Are you excited? Yeah. To raise or not to raise? That is the question. Well, I don't think it's much of a question. Timestamp, okay. This is being done before the Fed makes their announcement this afternoon. And yeah. Do I think that they are going to continue with the hamster wheel? That great hamster wheel is 75 basis point rate hikes. Yep. Yep, because again, it's government officials and banging your head against the wall again and again and again and expecting a different result. Well, that's what they do and do well. So anyway, yes, do I think that they're going to raise by 75 basis points? What's their guidance going to be? Is there going to be a possibility for a pivot? What are they going to do at the December meeting? Yeah. We've talked about this for some time. We were pushing last year, going back to the earlier parts, the spring of 2021. We're like, you might want to raise by a quarter basis point. And then inflation started ticking up to a greater degree. And we're like, you might want to raise a little bit more, but no. No, the 400 brilliant economists at the Federal Reserve told us inflation was transitory. Well, we told you the truth. And they got behind the eight ball. And that's just the reality of the situation. And we're dealing with again, I mentioned it before. We're doing that. That's just the repercussions of the Federal Reserve. Can't just blame the Fed. Again, I'm a big believer in taking responsibility. I didn't vote for all of this government spending, but we, the people, did. And that's why we're in the position that we're in. It's a reality. It's a reality. Government's going to spend trillions of dollars it doesn't have. It has to print it. It has to come from somewhere. And that's where the Fed steps in. So, can the Fed fix it? Bob the Builder, we can fix it. Nope. Sorry, I know all the Fed lovers on CNBC. Oh, yes, the Steve Leismans and the Jim Cramers of the world. Oh, they love these guys. We got to parade the ex-Fed presidents on the program. You mean the people that got it wrong before? I mean, could you try to compile like a list of just terms of the NFL, coaches that really just were unsuccessful? You want to go to Rich Kotite, you want to go to Adam Gase. I mean, you could go throughout the years. Ray Hanley, Giants. There's a blast from the past, right? And you put them on a program, and they're giving advice in regards to football. Would you listen? You might for shits and giggles because it might be funny, but they've got no credibility. So, again, the conversation is out there right now. You had a bunch of Democratic lawmakers. This is all we can stand. We can't stand no more. They can't tolerate this, what the Fed's doing and what it's going to do to the economy and putting people out of work because they're looking out for the folks, like Bill O'Reilly. Looking out for the folks. Okay. I mentioned this before. I happen to agree with them. I don't believe that we need to destroy the economy in order to save the economy. That doesn't make any sense, just as much as it didn't make sense when that moronic colonel said it about the village that they decided to blow up during the Vietnam War. But that's a story for another day. No, we don't need to do this. And guess what? The Democrats are right. But the Democrats, what they don't want to do, and quite frankly, most Republicans do not want to do, is cut spending. Cut spending. You keep spending and spending and spending, and you raise the debt ceiling, and you've got to borrow more money. How about a little bit of fiscal restraint? That would put an end to it. It would. Again, record tax revenues going into Washington, D.C. It's not enough. The size of our government continues to grow, and it's never enough. Fiscal restraint is the answer. It's the answer, but again, no one's going to follow through on it. Again, what's the Fed going to look at? We had more numbers today. 239,000 private payrolls, ADP number for October, which was better than expected, and wages increased by 7.7%. And you're being told that good news is bad news. It's bad that people are getting paid more, and it's bad that people can find work. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's never made any sense to me. Oh, you'll find some, it's inflationary. People are making more, and we gotta get that unemployment rate above 5%, says Larry Summers. No, you don't, you schmuck. You just gotta control the size of government. But again, government doesn't want its size controlled. Let's just leave it at that. They want to keep spending. Anyway, moving on. We got to get into energy here. We are on, you might want to call it maybe the road to being pathetic. It really is. I saw this, yesterday on the program. It's just kind of a retrench. You missed it yesterday. We talked about how a large swath of the country believes that the government should be sending them an inflation relief check. Well, the Biden administration is announcing that they're going to be providing $13 billion in aid to help American families lower energy bills. More checks. There you go. It was walk around money. We're just going to keep sending checks out to people. You showed me, Mr. Murkowski, energy prices are so high. Yeah, they're high for me too. They're high for me too. So you know what? Let's just great idea. Let's get more Americans addicted to handouts and giveaways. And listen, I get it. Okay, I've said it before. I have no problem with safety nets, helping people out that are in dire situations. But the reason we're in this position, the reason why we have to issue checks to people is because of what? A war. Oh, no. Not the Joe Biden, not all the Democrats. They've got their little talking points. When you go on a show, you must say that higher energy prices and inflation and all this stuff is due to the war in the Ukraine. And those evil oil companies are war profiteering. No, you anal sphincter. That's not why. The reason why is the war on fossil fuels. War on fossil fuels. That's it. That's the reason why these prices are where they are. It was fascinating today. You had various different companies come out in their earnings reports actually pointing out that, this is affecting our bottom line. Our utility bills are affecting our bottom line. I can't even remember hearing that before. You got companies out there saying we're getting a hit at the thermostat. And again, I don't like wasting money. I don't. Okay, for people watching on the vlog, the video, here is here's a card that my kids got me years ago, and I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. My daughter obviously picked it out. Who touched the thermostat? And if you're listening on the podcast, it's got this little, dashing Doberman pincher, and he's looking real mean. And it's like, who? Again, understanding. It was a Happy Father's Day card from my kids. Understanding, again, I don't like paying higher prices. I get ticked off when the air conditioning on and somebody leaves a window open, a door open. I get all that. But when you got companies, major companies out there saying, listen, it's costing us a fortune. Our electric bills are through the roof. I do this all the time. I mean, think of a major restaurant, a big one. Let's say Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake, big footprint, big restaurant. You know what it costs to heat that place? What it costs to keep the air conditioning on and all the other things, the utility bill there, now that's gone through the roof? Can you imagine? Look at your utility bill. Look at how it's affecting these companies. And this is what the war on fossil fuels has done, okay? Energy factors into everything. Everything. Yes, to all of you vegans out there that are, don't like your glutens and lactose intolerant and all that stuff. Guess what? Fossil fuels factor into the price of your quinoa and your kale. It does, whether you want to believe it or not. And again, we're doing this to ourselves. Quick side note here on energy. I don't know, no or not. Last name Markowski. So again, this guy's Polish. Yeah, I'm half Italian, half Polish, and I've got a lot of listeners out there. Well, call them. It's not Polish people, Italians. A lot of my Italian listener base, and it's funny. They love making fun. They love throwing the Polak jokes at me. I trust me. Think I care? Stuff's funny. Who cares? Don't bother me. But anyway, here's a shot back from the people in Poland. Poland has signed 2 deals over the past day. One with the United States and one with the South Korean company to build nuclear power plants. Wow, they're smart over there in Poland, aren't they? Wow, how about that? Building nuclear. Wow, jeez. Wow, there's no emission. It's fantastic, great idea. Gee, maybe we should do that. Anyway, let's. I got to go into the. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I mean, it's gotten so bad that they're actually. I mean, you got CNN fact checking Joe Biden. Yeah, and by the way, you have noticed. And Elon Musk is touting this. Okay, politicians say something there, they're fact checking it right away. Twitter fact checking Biden the Magnificent. Again, yesterday, and absolutely ridiculous things. They're going to have to hire me. I mean, I know Elon wants to lay a lot of people off. They better keep some people on in regards to the fact checking. Let's start off with this one though. Again, this is following the footsteps of Hillary Clinton, who claimed she was named after Sir Edmund Hillary. I think the name was named after him because I think he was one of the first people to climb Mount Everest. Meanwhile, he did that after she was born. So I don't know, maybe the Rodham family had some sort of time machine or something like that. They knew that was going to happen. Oh, I remember Hillary as well. Remember her with the dodging sniper fire and bullets when they landed in Sarajevo? Complete, utter BS. Anyway, Joe Biden yesterday, he, again, every day, mentioned that he had spoken with a man, guy by the name of Frederick Banting. Frederick Banting is the man who invented insulin. And Biden talked about this Frederick Banting, what a great guy he was. He didn't patent it because he wanted it available for everyone. And Biden said that he spoke to him. Banting died at the age of 49 in 1941, which was 21 months before Biden was born. It just flows. It flows. Yeah, so you had inflation is caused by the war in Iraq rather than the war in Ukraine. And again, he said his son died fighting in Iraq. It's this one. Again, you got to understand, audience, and I've said this again and again and again. Elections are about the dumb vote. You got to find dumb people. You have to. Okay, you've got to reach out and you got to get a hold of those dumb voters and you got to bring them to the polls. White House tweets out, seniors are getting the biggest increase in their Social Security checks in 10 years through President Biden's leadership. Again, it's complete and utter bullshit. Has nothing to do with Joe Biden. It's a cost of living increase that was signed into law. You go back to, I think it was Richard Nixon, if I'm not mistaken. He was the one that signed that into law. And again, even Twitter fact checked him on it. This is what they said. Yeah, seniors will receive a large Social Security benefit increase due to the annual cost of living adjustment, which is based on the inflation rate. Oh, I was right here. President Nixon in 1972 signed into law automatic benefit adjustments tied to the consumer price index. Again, holy shnikes. Twitter fact-checked Biden. Shit that wouldn't have happened just a couple weeks ago. Not in a million years. And actually, other places, you're actually starting to see the New York Times, CNN having to chime in. I guess they're not going to have much of a choice, I guess, or they're going to look foolish. And it just shows you the extent that dishonest people will go to lie to get their way. You know, I talked about politics, the license to lie. If they feel like that lie is going to advance whatever they believe in, they don't give a damn. They don't. Anyway, quickly on this. You know, oftentimes, we discuss things here on the program, and I won't have the answer to something. I'll pose a question because I don't know. And it's one of the things I try to explain. If someone asks me a question and I don't have the answer to that question, I have no problem saying I don't know. I'll go find out. I'll go out and research and try to figure out the answer. And again, in today's day and age, we live in a world where, wow, I mean, it's you can do your homework. You walk around with these, all the libraries of the world in your pocket where you can find all of these things out. But again, going back to a question, we were talking about CO2, greenhouse gas emissions, talking about wildfires in California and some of the shows in the past. And I put the question out. I said, well, what happened? What happened prior to firefighters? What happened prior to firefighters? And, the lightning bolt would strike and cause a fire out in some of these areas. There's nobody there to put it out. Think about the amount of burn that would take place. And one of the questions I asked was, I wonder what the relationship is between man-made fires and fires caused by nature. And I got an answer. Data from the National Interagency Fire Center shows a number of acres burned across the United States between 2001 and 2021. Obviously doesn't have that acreage going back to the days before fire departments. But anyway, lightning-caused fires have led to more damage in the United States, especially in the West, than anyone else. There's only been 3 years where human-caused wildfires have done more damage. Okay. Mother Nature. Quickly on this one as well, this doesn't surprise me. The California business exodus continues to grow. Soared. The numbers are out for 2021, and it went through the roof. And I really don't see much of a change coming. The only way you're going to see any sort of businesses that are going to come to any of these high tax states, and I mentioned this before, it's a follow-up. Got the Micron factory that was put up in outside of Syracuse, New York, multi-billion-dollar plant that they're putting in, major investment. The only reason why it's in upstate New York is because the Democrats helped push through the CHIPS Act. Chuck Schumer is a majority leader in the Senate, and that company got a shit ton of tax credits to do so. If those things were not in place, Micron wouldn't be there. They wouldn't. They would go to an area where it made sense. It only makes sense fiscally to be in upstate New York with the high taxes and everything that goes along with it here in the state of New York is because of the handouts. That's it. So California, they want to attract businesses. Boy, oh boy, you better start giving out more corporate welfare. Yeah, that's just what we need, more corporate welfare. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Watchdog on wallstreet.com. Watchdog on wallstreet.com. We'll see you.